Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the Token Metrics Market Update Show. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, then like and subscribe to this channel and subscribe over at tokenmetrics.com. All right, let's welcome some people on the stream today. I've got Taz, John Atkinson, Patrick, Aiken, Dave Jackson, Elijah, Jordy. Welcome to the show. Welcome. I'm going to try to be a little bit more interactive today and see if I can talk to you all more in the contents. That's right. J-Dog talking about render, just smoking higher. I can promise you that that is going to be in our presentation today. Okay. J-Dog, appreciate the love. And it looks like we have a couple people who were watching videos from yesterday. So we definitely appreciate your viewership and everything that you do to keep this channel going. One thing that I would ask is if you can smash that like button. That helps us. That helps us help you. All right. So with that said, let's kick into your market update. Multi-Coin Capital, my second favorite crypto hedge fund out of Austin, Texas, moves today, moves into the metaverse, making me look somewhat smart on the idea that the metaverse is a mega trend. So let's kick in and always start with legacy. NASDAQ 100 QQQ is trying to fend off the power of a bearish diamond formation. I wish them well. I wish them luck because I'm so tired of legacy problems dragging crypto down when crypto, frankly, wants to go up. I think one of the things that's happening in legacy and crypto is something very important as it relates to the virus, okay? The president deployed the military today, is addressing the nation on the Omicron strain, okay? I understand that symptoms are supposedly mild, but it's a little early for that, I think. And it's also a problem if everybody gets sick at the same time. Now, I know that's a little morbid, but here's the deal, folks. I think the reason crypto is up today, okay, December 21st, is because people are starting to realize that if you have a new variant every 3 months, there's no way the Fed's hiking rates. There's no way, right? They can talk all they want, and yeah, inflation could be at 10%, but the Fed can't jam on the brakes, okay, if the economy has to like slump along with everybody getting sick at the same time. Now, why did I leave the legacy NASDAQ 100 chart up while I talk to y'all about that? Well, with legacy, earnings and growth, is important, right? So the Fed can support the economy. The Fed could continue doing what it's doing or maybe do a little less. But if you've got a real disruption in the economy, equities need more and more sugar to keep going. So the Fed may continue to do what it's doing, but you could have an economic disruption. And I can't believe that's good for stocks. What does that mean for crypto? Well, it means you could get one final dip, okay, before the end of the year, or it's just buy dips in general. Hopefully, legacy recovers and I can just stop talking about it. All right, Ethereum. The good news is Ethereum really isn't going anywhere. It's holding above its 21-week moving average at 3,800, but it can't take out its 21-day moving average at 4K. So Ethereum is going to need some positive news But I like the idea of a Santa rally in Ethereum because when all is said and done, in my opinion, the Fed's not hiking rates, and that's good for ETH and the altcoin space. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at its 21-day moving average at 49K. So Bitcoin could take out 49K. Awesome. Bitcoin could take out its 21-week moving average. Awesome, right? Now, if Bitcoin doesn't take out its 21-week moving average, there could be a final flush lower. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. I think either way Bitcoin goes, you win. Because either you get the dip to get involved, even if it's nasty, or, that's it. It's over, right? The Fed tightening scare is over because the virus thing is going to be a bigger story than people think. So I know it sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but if it breaks out, we can buy the next dip and go with it. If it gets killed or there's a big down day, awesome. The market has told you on big down days that there are buyers below in crypto. Now, I discovered the little cut and paste function on TradingView. What you see on the left is the recent price action in Bitcoin. And next to that, you have the December bottoms in both 2019 and 2018. Now, I played with it. I actually superimposed it on 2021, and they all look pretty similar, right? They all look similar. The only difference is in 2021, you seem to have the early puke, right? The early wick down, and everything else has been stable since. In 2019 and 2018, there was a final puke. So this chart has a couple points. One, if there is a final puke, I say grab it. Two, you got a lot of people looking for a parabolic up, and you got a lot of people looking for crypto winter. And here's a statement. I think they're both wrong. I think the best thing for crypto is for the cycle to extend itself, right? I don't want, I know what people want, right? They want their whole portfolio to 5X, everybody genuflect, sell, and go buy a Lambo. I don't think that's how it's going to work. I think the fact that the Fed is probably not going to be able to hike rates because of the virus creates more of a range the way it did in 2019 and 2018. And then that slow turn higher comes later when the Fed is not only not tightening, but probably rushing in to support the economy next year in March with more QE. As you can tell, I'm actively working on a list. At least I'm either going to talk about it gradually or actually publish a list of surprises in 2022, right? Everyone thinks the Fed's going to tighten. If there's two more variants, how's that going to happen? That extends the crypto cycle because if inflation stays with a Fed that has to sit on its hands, that's crypto positive. That's Bitcoin positive. That's an extended Bitcoin cycle where Bitcoin probably goes sideways and then does that 100 or 150K ramp in a couple of months. Okay, AVAX. Another sign that this crypto winter talk seems overdone to me, right? If ETH 2.0 is delayed, or if everybody just wakes up and decides, hey, let's move DeFi over to Avalanche and Luna, then Avalanche has a shot at 150. In other words, if Bitcoin goes down and comes back, or it just sort of slowly breaks out, just got to think that creates a super positive environment for Avalanche because Avalanche is being repriced. I know everyone's bullish, but there have been dips. There were 2 dips at the 21-day moving average, as you can see there by the arrows. So they've tested it twice, all right? And now I got to think the next rally probably takes you up to 150. The point is, if you get dips in some of these great storied cryptocurrencies, you got to pay attention and you have to be active, okay? Solana, big question here. So Multicoin Capital was out today investing in Render. We'll get to more of that later on how big hedge funds are now piling into the metaverse. One of the things that Multicoin is arguing, okay, or shilling, depending on your viewpoint, is how the metaverse, okay, is optimally suited for the Solana blockchain. Now, whether that's true or not, what is true is that Multicoin was way early in Solana. So kudos to them, obviously, right? But they're actually espousing that Solana can go much, much higher, as is Kraken's research unit, right? They're talking about Solana at 600. Now, at present, the Solana chart does not look good. It's consolidating just below a big technical point at around 191. Okay, there's a head and shoulders top, and I would just rather see Solana go up. Otherwise, you know, there's downside risk. So I'm hoping Multicoin, by coming in, the legacy terminology is defending their position. Okay, I'm now actually cheering for Solana because they came in and made the big investment in the metaverse, claiming that the metaverse is going to need a blockchain with Solana-like properties in order to function, right? So Render, this is where Multicoin has just completed a $30 million investing. Obviously, in order to have all these 3D images, somebody has to render them, right? Render has actually been around for a while. And if I get this straight, the whole Render infrastructure is actually going to be moved onto Solana. Render, like many tokens in the metaverse, got absolutely hammered, right? From 8 down to 4. And the theme yesterday and in all these live streams is, you know, when something breaks above its 21-day moving average, that's the green wavy line. That's the sign of the breakout. That's the sign to start buying dips, right? In Render, after getting killed, all right, it's come back. Now, what's an important lesson here? It's not a bull market unless you can buy dips and make money. So with the metaverse, yeah, it went up. I was like, okay, this is a mega trend. It goes down. And the question is, what are the new winners in this asset class? The question isn't, is the metaverse going to be big, particularly if COVID-19 is going to create, I don't know, a greater incentive to have a virtual experience versus an in-person experience. It's as simple as that, right? This is not going away. But the question is, what are the coins that are going to lead? Now, tokenmetrics.com can help you with that. More on that, so don't go anywhere. And please hit the like button so we can tell you this whole story about how this metaverse and layer 1 trade can progress. Now, from tokenmetrics.com, I immediately went and said, all right, I want to see all of the tokens that have a high correlation with Render, right? Because everything's been pretty much, you know, Sandbox, Decentraland, you know, Vulcan Forged, RMRK was in there a while, but the volatility in this sector is huge. So if Render is now going to start an uptrend or at least be stable, tokenmetrics.com has a correlation tab. What's correlation? Well, it uses math to tell you what tokens are similar or move or have moved in a similar fashion with Render. So if you look on the left, it gives you the big coins, right? Sandbox, Decentraland, Gala, okay? Crypto.com is in there, along with Cadena, the blockchain, and Avalanche. So if you're looking for, hey, what are the metaverse tokens that could follow Render? Now, on the right-hand side, which I still have to research, you have a bunch of super small cap coins, right? They could be micro cap coins that also seem to move with Render. So not investment advice. Don't want to dive into the small coins. I want tokenmetrics.com users to be able to do that. The point is this. When you get something, when you get a hint as to what the next leader is going to be in the metaverse, okay, then you want to get the most information about what coins are going to follow along. Like, for example, I would not have guessed that KAD or KDA rather, that layer one blockchain would be highly correlated with render. So there may be a thing where Multicoin was telling you that there are layer ones out there that are going to benefit from the metaverse trade. And I can tell you right now, Multicoin is not going to be the first big hedge fund to come out and make announcements that they're investing in the metaverse. As a matter of fact, I think all the legacy institutions, as COVID-19, sort of steals the thunder from the economy, the virtual world is going to pick up and everybody's going to have to invest. Okay, Metaverse Index Token from Uniswap. Okay, I believe the ticker is MVI. Okay, so this trades on Uniswap. It's close to his trend line. So that's from my friend Forrest. It's retraced to 62% of its recent up move and held, right? It's been banging on that index around 200 for about 4 or 5 days, and it's got like a 10% pop today. So it started out in October at 80, then it went to 400, now it's back at 220. The 21-day moving average is at 249, and I'm going to leave this up to you. Buy or sell the metaverse, right? You can put a stop in below 200 on this coin, not investment advice. And what happens if ETH and all these other coins take off between, say, now and the end of January, right? Your risk is this. The reward is this. Okay, Decentraland. Now, these coins have kind of like, they're not mooning, okay, but I think they're basing, right? Yesterday, you saw Decentraland get absolutely hammered and then come straight back. Now, there isn't any follow-through buying, so they only were able to unwind a portion of the decline, but it looks like a head and shoulders bottom, right? So if you grab dips in Decentraland, then it takes out 360, dips back to 360 and holds, then it could be game on. It could be game on back to its high, right? Because this looks more like a bullish consolidation formation than a bearish one. Sandbox could be similar. You could argue on the 4-hour Sandbox chart that there's a teacup and handle. You could also argue that Sandbox is trying to break above a trend line and that $5, a nice even number, is acting as support. So, interested in the metaverse on dips, interested in big layer ones on dips, or interested on a breakout, because again, some of this stuff is totally destroyed. Gala Games, same thing, doesn't look as good on the 4-hour chart. It's trying to break above resistance, right? All you need is a breakout and a retest, or what my colleague Forrest calls bump and run, to get the sector going. Now is the time to draw the charts, okay? Because again, before today, it was just me bloviating on some of these metaverse charts. Now the big boys are in, right? Now people are sitting around and they're like, damn, these guys pushed a whole bunch of chips in before they went home for the holidays. We better figure out what we're going to do next year. Okay. Arweave also mentioned in the Multicoin blog post about their announcement. Okay. Notice how this thing broke above its 21-day moving average and has come back and is now in dip mode. Okay. Supposedly when Multicoin, sort of articulates their thesis, they talk about how data storage, along with the ability to render images, is going to be key for the metaverse. Okay, that sort of makes sense. No doubt somebody knew in advance. That's why Arweave went from 30 to 60, in 2 days. Okay, or in 1 week rather. So you get a 200% move or 100% move, and then Multicoin comes out with the announcement. So most likely you've got sell the fact going on here, but this could permeate. This type of price action could start, no pun intended, weaving its way through the metaverse. Vulcan Forged, a dangerous coin, but it did hold support that we mentioned yesterday at 16.5. I'd be happy if we're not going to see 9, right? So somebody came in and wanted this thing when it was destroyed. What have we been saying? Let someone else buy it, wait for the breakout, and then buy dips. Hopefully that's it in Vulcan Forge. Same thing in RMRK. Okay, big GAN support, big like horizontal support around 32, and it held. Now these are up big today, but I would have to say, if there's no final down move in crypto, or even if there is, right, these charts are telling you, right? Like I can't be with you when you're trading all day. I can give you the read as of now, but the thing is, buy or sell the metaverse on dips headed into 2022, right? Is the new NASDAQ the metaverse, DeFi on Avalanche, right? Are these themes stopping or just getting started? Phantom. I'm now interested in all these layer ones because of what Multicoin said about Solana, right? If certain types of fast blockchains are going to be needed, okay, to run the metaverse, I don't think the metaverse is going to run only on Solana, and it's certainly not only going to run on ETH because of the gas fees. So I just became interested in Phantom again, especially if it can get back above $1.42. Matic, again, another example of the 21-day moving average. Breaks out, comes back, goes up, retests, test. And what happens when it holds? Matic pops and goes to 240, right? The 21-day moving average is going to be the key tool for all of these things, all of these coins going forward. Okay, Woo Network, a Novogratz favorite, got caught at the top on this one, but I am noticing RAI, or machine learning rankings, lists Woo inside the Avalanche ecosystem. So I'm wondering if you can take a shot at this on value investing if it takes out the 21-day moving average at 77 cents. Very similar looking picture in Engine, ENJ, right? It has gone back to a former ceiling around 217, and it's holding. It seems to be like gradually building a base, right? Okay, XDC, something that we've looked at, okay, it has to do with global trade. So this has popped up, breaks the 21-day moving average, and now it's kind of like moving off of that, right? Now, if this holds, this could be a token that's got some upside, because one of the things about tokenmetrics.com is that we search for these kind of hidden gems. And I remember our guys reviewing this. So it's really interesting to try and track the things that these guys come up with. And that's one of those charts. Now, KDA, obviously one of the big winners of the year, really interested to see if the render move can help break KDA out, or if KDA is going to just sort of, I don't know, die on the vine. Interested to hear your comments on that. IOTA. Okay, this is a very outside the box play. Could be a big winner in 2022, possibly, right? A lot of people think this may be able to steal thunder from Polkadot, okay? Or this could wind up being kind of a stealth Web3 trade. Staking is due to begin. So there's two sides to this story, right? Staking is bullish for price action, right? On the other side, it's IOTA is an old story and not as secure as you'd want it to be. Well, I'm going to let Mr. Market decide. It's pressing the 21-day moving average today, and I want to see if there's any such thing as a definitive breakout here. Because again, Web3, layer 0, right, is going to produce a surprise in 2022. I just have to find it along with you, right? Nano. Here's an idea. Some of these digital cash or digital currency solutions have been absolutely left for dead. I haven't talked about them. We've talked about them in the past. Bitcoin seemed, to just make the maximalist dreams come true. And all these other digital cash solutions have been destroyed. And I'm just wondering right? Unless Nano's going to go to zero, which I doubt, I'm wondering if there's a case for other digital cash solutions as a way to solve the inflation problem if the Fed can't hike rates to solve it. In other words, if people can't pay with US dollars, or if the US dollar continues to lose purchasing power, what other digital cash solutions are out there to help people keep up with inflation? Because I can tell you right now, folks, if Omicron turns out to be as bad as it could, everyone says it's mild. So in my mind, it's got nowhere to go but get worse. That's got to help digital cash solutions, right? I mean, Dash. Now, I brought this up. This was a top pick in 2021. As with everything in 2021, you were right in the first half, wrong in the second half, right? I'm looking at Dash at $139, destroyed back where it was in July. The Turkish lira has collapsed, okay? I don't think the Fed can stop inflation in the United States with, sort of the virus drag that's going on. So doesn't that leave room for the future of money to expand beyond Bitcoin? And that, folks, is the market update. All right, now let's see. Replica says, show us the money, bro. I hear you. I hear you on a lot of these digital cash solutions. I got to see some positive price action. I'm not married to a pick, and neither should you. Like if you pick a coin and it doesn't work out, you don't get married to it. But again, look, man, the president is going to be addressing the country about Omicron. So either it's no big deal and that's a charade, or it's time to start thinking about whether or not the Fed can tighten. Okay. Somebody just finished watching my videos from yesterday. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. Helium Coinbase update, please. Okay. Helium has been down 50%. Okay. And that chart is starting to turn. And I got somebody also asking for Polkadot. So let me see if I can bring up Helium, if my computer will cooperate here, and I can get Helium up on the screen. So let's talk about Helium. Helium goes up to 61, falls out of bed, and then, oh no, look, the 21-day moving average, okay? Now, there was a huge battle there. I get it. There was a huge battle, right? It was like, it was going to break it, and then they stopped everyone out. It's tough, right? But look what happens, right? Big green candle on the breakout. This is actually another multi-coin favorite. So last time with Helium, it went to 20 and you got paid to buy it at 10. And I'm just wondering, common sense wise, if Helium goes to 60, if it doesn't pay, to start picking it up at 33. Every time somebody starts talking about crypto winter, I keep seeing these charts, right? There are sectors within crypto, okay, that have some hope to it, that people seem to be buying dips. Now, somebody's always asking about Polkadot. I hear you. All right. I'm a big Polkadot fan, but I'm wondering if Polkadot has to wait until January. In other words, this thing just keeps slumping. I can't believe it's below, say, 26. Now, if Polkadot is doing one of these things where it goes, all right, we're going to dip below and try to make everyone who likes it bearish before we come raging back, I think that's possible. But as that person said earlier, right, show me the money, right? Show me the money. Now, TA on Wonderland Time Token from Crypto Freedom. Okay, would love to help you on this, but I've actually been told that TA on those sort of Olympus forks on those coins really isn't that useful. Now, I'll check with my colleagues to see if that's changed, but that is sort of a weird, nebulous world. When wife change, how you doing? Do you see Luna slowing down? It's going to Mars. Okay, let's have a look at Luna. because, I want to interact with y'all and give y'all some love. Hopefully, as I do that, you may be hitting the like button and helping me out. Okay. So here is Luna. And I think I'm still screen sharing. So this is what Luna looks like. Now, it definitely paid to buy Luna the last time it tested its 21-day moving average. And if this doesn't drive the point home, I don't know what can. It looks like Luna is headed for 100. Headed for 100, right? Now, the question is, should you chase it? Now, my colleague Forrest is a very disciplined individual, right? He's very even-tempered, right? He's a wrestler, actually, and I believe he still trains. So Forrest is a disciplined guy, and his attitude is, you know what? Sometimes you miss stuff. That's one way to look at Luna, right? If you missed it and you didn't get it on the dip, then just wait until the next dip. It's a valid thought process. Now, if Luna takes out 100 or goes to 100, it's probably the area to take profits. And then if Luna takes out 100, well, then I don't think you have to be upset because it's going to take the whole rest of the market with it. I think rather than chasing Luna between 90 and 100, this is the question you should be asking yourself. Is Luna telling us that DeFi, gaming, metaverse can spread out, right? Can spread out, and there can somebody take market share away from Ethereum, right? And if so, that's bullish because the sector and the sort of the whole cryptoverse can basically spread out and spread its wings. So Luna looks like it wants to go to 100. Is VeChain still relevant? I've been holding, okay? VeChain, I talked about it yesterday. Let me see if I can bring it up. It's actually a great question. Is it still relevant, right? Or is it dead, right? Now, VeChain is in a support zone, okay, above 7 cents. So I think if VeChain is above 7 cents, it's not dead. Keep in mind, VeChain went all the way down to 5 cents in July. I'm hoping what we're looking at here is some sort of a base. VeChain is going to come back to life. How? If it takes out the 21-day moving average at 9 cents. So show me the money should have been the title of the stream. So whoever said that, I thank you. Show me the money. Show me a move above a 21-day moving average. Thoughts on Rune? All right. So I think I'm at a record now, third or fourth question. I know y'all are going to help me by hitting the like button. So Rune has got, I believe, a test net coming online or some sort of fundamental news happening there. That's what's rekindled the interest. So here's the good news. The good news is Rune is holding a big Gann point, right? That Gann point is roughly at 6. The 21-day moving average I'm showing is at $7.37. So what Rune seems to have done right here is done one of these things that what Polkadot may be doing where it flushes everyone out. I want to see if there's any such thing as a winner in DeFi outside of Luna and AVAX, right? In other words, a Rune move higher would be important because right now the market is trading like, yeah, all of DeFi is going to Luna and AVAX. So if Rune moved, that means there's room for somebody else. Right now, that's not the case. And I would definitely wait for this thing to prove itself, before I got involved. All right. Okay. Mayran is looking for Meta Hero. So I believe. Right there I have it in KuCoin. All right. Now I know this is a big favorite other places on YouTube. So let's talk Meta Hero before we wrap it up. Okay. Here I'm seeing a former ceiling, okay, right at 16 cents. So MetaHero doesn't look terrible, but it has to prove itself, right? In other words, we didn't know that Render was going to move the way it did. We didn't know where the big hedge funds were going to come and invest. If we look at maybe a 4-hour chart, I might be able to get a better read on this because that's the way it's kind of worked. Okay, so in MetaHero, you do see a lot of these wicks on the 4-hour chart, which means people are selling. This goes back to this whole idea of proving itself. Now, I do sort of like this price action where it breaks a trend line, it comes back, it doesn't trade very well. We've seen this, right? People may have given up in this. So if you're wondering on whether you should up, I would say not investment advice, hang on, right? Sellers keep pressing. Obviously, it has to get above 17 cents, but I don't see any reason to give up on the metaverse unless there's a calamity in risk assets, right? My final thought for today is when it comes to the metaverse or when it comes to crypto, I don't think you give up until the market actually forces you to do so, right? In other words, if it's crypto winter, fine, come force me out. Otherwise, there are sectors and price action that will note that it may not be totally exciting in the case of Bitcoin or ETH, but this idea of a cycle extension and the Fed not being able to move, right? So we're all doctors now. We're all keeping track of the virus. We're all watching to see if everyone gets sick all at once. If that happens, there's no Fed tightening, period, right? And if there's no Fed tightening, then crypto is going to be necessary both to keep people happy and to protect against inflation. So it's not all doom and gloom at all. It's sad for humanity, but there's a case for crypto that people aren't making. And people aren't being bold enough and asking the question, are the Fed's hands tied? And if the answer is yes, that's constructive for crypto. We'll see if that is right or wrong in the coming days. Friends, we appreciate your viewership. This is the Market Update Show. I'm your host, Bill Noble. I will see you next time.